Greetings and welcome back to Drahcian TMD. My name is Drahcian and you are watching Let's Play Space Engineers.
Oh, it's amazing! It is out of there! Boom goes the dynamite! Oh, absolutely, Bill. I mean, he completely crushed it. Just knocked that thing out of the park. There was no way anybody could have expected this. Clang just came out of nowhere.
Yes, indeed. As you can see, I have been a busy bee. And actually there's more that I have to show you. Which includes that. Down there. Let's go take a look. So, of all the things that I've done, this is the one that I've been wanting to do the most for quite a while. As I may have mentioned before, I wanted to rebuild the plane with more teeth, with fuel, and in this case, not vector thrust, not quite, but it is going to be a VTOL. So what's going to happen is this is going to be able to rotate as I take off to allow me to fly forward, and it's going to be using a script which I cannot remember who it's by. Let me look that up really quick. It's Whip's rotor thruster control script, which I will be adding to probably the back here on a programmable block right here, so that when I'm using the thrusters, these will be utilized as well, because ordinarily I tried to take off and nothing happens. I did test it and it didn't go well, and I had to kind of put it back where it was, and it was a thing. I would show you, but I actually was not recording at the time, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, depending on your perspective. For me, because it's not quite as embarrassing. You can imagine the worst, and I can say, oh, it's just because you're imagining the worst. But it was pretty bad. Anyway, so I'm going to put the other wing on this side, pretty much mirroring it, obviously, and get the thrusters all built up. I've got a couple of extra downwards. I've got some braking thrusts, and some sideways thrust to stop side slippage and stuff like that, and to brake if I need to. But you've already noticed that I'm using the plane parts mod, so I do actually have some air brakes right here. And so I may end up taking these little ones off, I don't know. I just, for sort of stabilization's sake, not that it really needs it, we'll see how it goes. I do have a couple of gyros in there. I've got 4 Gatling turrets, as you can see, plus Gatling guns forward facing, and 2 Gatling turrets, 1 top and 1 bottom, because you know. So yeah, I'm going to take care of that and I'll be right with you. Alright, and now, you know what, this is a bad place to park with the sun rising, because now it's all in shadow and it just looks bad. I'm sorry about that, guys. I must admit I didn't even think about it, which that's kind of the story of my life. Anyway, so this is all set out. I think I've got it exactly right. Ooh, there is one thing I forgot on this side. Can't forget the details or you're gonna get yelled at. The internet will never forgive your mistakes. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to keep welding this up, and we'll be ready for a flight pretty soon, which I really want to get to. I've been wanting to really test this thing ever since I started building it. I won't finish all the detail work just yet. I do want to give it a test flight. And what do I need to do? I need to make sure I put the landing gear on that side, because I'll need to be able to set down. And I must remember to put the rotor script on. In fact, what I will do is I will build and set that up right now. In fact, why don't you join me while I take care of that? Should we do it upside down, or kind of like, whoops, like this? Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's hope you have all the parts. What do you know? Large steel tubes, motors, displays and computers. I'll be right there. I will admit, having 2 large steel tubes in a small programmable block, essentially a computer screen, baffles me. I really honestly think that should be 2 small steel tubes. But what do I know? Okay, so to program this thing, we are going to need, I'm going to rename it. I always do this. I like to shorten it down. You don't have to watch me do this though. Okay. And then we're going to go to Browse Scripts. We're going to go to Whips. Ah, it has an apostrophe. Whips, Rotor, Thruster. Oh, it's Manager. I'm sorry, it's not Control at all. It's Manager. Okay, copy to Editor. Name the seat's remote reference, place programmable block with this code, done, attach your off-grid thrusters however you like, enjoy. Arguments on, thrusters on and off. Okay, well, let's not worry about the, yes, that's fine. Let's not worry about that stuff. Let's find the cockpit. Oh, goodness, I keep hitting the desk there, I'm sorry about that. Fighter cockpit, reference. Let's hope that I spelt that correctly. Now, of course, this isn't on because it has no power. The reason it has no power is because these batteries that I initially added got drained. Some fool, this guy, left these on and it drained all the power. Now that I think about it, I'm not going to have enough power for any kind of flight. Sustained flight, no problem. As soon as I get into the air, I'm pretty sure I can run on minimal settings because the wings will take care of the rest. But yeah, I'm going to have to charge this thing first, and I just realized I don't actually have a way to do that. Oh, except that I was going to fuel it up and let the engines do the powering, at least to get the batteries charged, but that begs the next question: am I going to have to fuel this thing manually? Okay, I will give this some thought and see what I can do. Well, this is not an elegant solution, but it's one that will work. So I'm basically going to create an ejector that will eject ice into the collector. The collector, the ice will then go into the hydrogen. Oh no, this is not going to work at all. This was exactly the same problem I had before, because the H2O2 generator was producing so little ice or hydrogen for the engines which are powering it that it was actually draining. I'm going to have to build some sort of connector. However, that won't be so bad because I can move the plane and then use an arm or an armature to hover over and set down on top of the connector. So let's actually go ahead and replace this. I freely admit that it's entirely possible somebody somewhere knows a better way of doing this than what I'm attempting, but this is what I'm trying, and if it works, it works, and maybe it's better than stuff other people have done, and maybe I'm just a fool playing with essentially computer Lego blocks. Rambling. Okay, so what I am going to have to do then is power this thing up. Oh, I need to fix that landing gear first. Whips program should engage once the power is up, and it means I should be able to fly. I'll disconnect it, probably land it first to make sure everything's all good. Then I will move it over here, probably here somewhere, and then attach some sort of device that moves and can extend and retract so that it can come down and connect to the plane. Could actually act as a crane as well, which would be kind of cool, but not necessary. Oh, this thing! Yes, this is what I was working on during the montage. It's actually an old design of mine that I've kind of reconverted. I actually built a system similar to this in an Ion variant, and I was like, you know, that thing would actually probably work pretty well in atmosphere. The only thing I changed is where all the configuration of the engines is. I actually added 4 more because I wasn't sure if fully loaded this thing would not lift off the ground unless it had some extra thrust. I did consider making it a vector thrust, but it would make it a little bit more bulky than I wanted, and the whole point of this is to be as small as possible little plane. Sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked. One thing at a time. Let's get this plane sorted out. So yes, I will make up the battery and then we will fly this very carefully, hopefully. Oh, you know what? I don't have any stabilizing backwards thrust. See, I kind of don't want to do that because it defeats the purpose of having the VTOL and the fact that it's got the plane parts. I kind of wanted to control it manually. You know what? We're going to live dangerously. I'm going to keep the side ones just to prevent it from tilting to the side too much. There was actually a suggestion in the comments that I try that, and let's take those ones away. I also don't know if I need to have these built in order for the wings to function, so I'm going to weld everything up. The last thing I'll do is the batteries, and then we'll move this sucker. Let's rock. Yes, I also installed a medical room after my incident involving zombies. Well, not zombies, but getting flung up in the air by Clang. That was completely surprising. I literally just walked over the drill and, as you saw, got thrown like a ragdoll. Actually, if you watch the footage really carefully, it's kind of funny. As I fly up, my pack flies off in one direction, and then as I hit the bar, as the bag emerges and as I fall backwards, you can see it actually shoot off upwards into the sky, which is kind of bizarre, but I think it's because where I hit the top of the bar or whatever, it suddenly changed direction and for some reason accelerated out of the atmosphere, because I never did find that bag. But that's okay. We have our fancy proficient welders, which I don't know if I ever showed you that I had made. I also made some proficient hand tools. I also keep a low grinder in my pack just in case I need to do some precision grinding, because every now and then you're trying to grind down small blocks and the better gear ones are just like, nope, you're grinding the whole thing down instantly, and I don't want to do that. Forgot what I came over here for. More steel plate. Why not? Okay, back to the grind, or back to the weld in this case. Alright, I think that's everything except for the underside here, which I'll have to replicate on the other side. This is probably not a good idea, but oh well. Look at that, she's down. She's down. Auto lock is on for some reason. Let's go ahead and switch that off. Okay. It's probably not a good idea to have... Oh, see, that is really close. Really close. That's actually in the voxel. I have a horrible feeling that when I move, it's just going to rip that thing apart. Okay, well, you know. When you're playing with weapons, you may expect to get... things be damaged or whatever. Oh, missed this one. Okay, and now for the power cells. I do not like how flat and bleh this looks back here. I might have to add a few things like, I don't know, something. I'll figure something out. I'll probably colour those spars to make it look a bit different. I keep calling them spars. I don't know if that's actually the name for them. I think that's the name for the biplanes. The thing that goes between the two wings. Now I'm going to have to look that up. I guess it's more of a strut or support. A spar is actually a structural piece that goes inside of a wing, like almost like a girder in a building. It's a structural support. Batteries. So I need them bones, them dry bones. Power components? No, is that what they're called? Power cells. Power cells. All of your power cells, all of them, everywhere. All the neat ones. Wait, what? Is that full up? Oh no, I just wasn't clicking it properly. Because you know how difficult it is to go click. Now, is it 40 to a battery or 20 for the small ones? 20, good, so I have enough. Okay, so this is going to be a kind of a race against time. Let's see how this works out. Oh, I was not intending for that to happen, but there it is. I must have left it in reverse mode, or had tried to do it whilst it was offline. However, we are going to need them in that position, so that's fine. Unlocked, and let's get up and go. Oh, she's in the air. She's in the air. I'm going to back up a little bit so I can see. I just want to be very, very careful. Oh gosh. Yep, just inching. Oh, down. Oh gosh, okay. We are down. We are locked. We are turning this back this way just for safety's sake, although that probably isn't safe because if it goes forward it's going to rocket right into those cargo containers. But this is enough for me to get... Let's see, I'm going to need a rotor for it to turn. I'm going to need probably two, now that I've said that I'm close enough. I'm actually in a pretty good line with it. Not too bad. 2 pistons drop down into a connector. Should that be on a piston itself, or should I put the piston at the top over here? I'll figure it out, and that should be fine. It's locked. I am willing to just let this today. In fact, you know what? I'm a fool. I could just do this. Boom. It's off. Don't even need to worry about it. Okay. So I'm going to take care of getting some refueling on to get that charged up. And then I'll show you some more of the base. There's quite a lot to get through today. I've got this. I've got the base to show you. Oh, and I have to show you this really quick. Yeah, I kind of embellished the Rhino a little bit. It looks kind of goofy. I like it. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's too much? I mean, it's quite literally on the nose. On the horn, I guess, maybe? They're bad puns as well. Like I said, I like it, but if you really, really hate it, just let me know, and I may consider possibly just taking those off. Anyway, so yes, recharging arm, and then a tour. So let's see, we want to back this off maybe a meter to start with. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to go maximum distance of 1. Reverse. Strictly eyeballing it, I think we're good. Okay, we're going to extend this one out by about 5. Oh, that is actually, I think that's in almost perfect line. Let's turn this thing a couple of degrees. To do that, the easiest way to figure out which rotor this is, whoops, I went past it, would be to put one of these on here, which is my habit. Wouldn't you know it, I don't have enough displays or computers, but apparently that doesn't matter. We're just going to roll with it. Okay, rotor, advanced rotor, it's the only one that's lit up in the normal colors. Let's see, upper limit's going to be 5 degrees. Lower limit's going to be -5 for now, just to be whatever. Oh, let me guess, you turned the other way, didn't you? No, you did not. It's actually going to have to be about 3 degrees. Oh, this could take a little time. What I really need is to get an arm that I can control with the mouse. I forget again whose mods it is. There's actually several out there that are pretty good. One of them just came out recently, which is better than most. I will have to see if I can find that one. In fact, I may have mentioned wanting to use something like that before. Sorry, I should be working while talking. My apologies. Let's go ahead and set this to 0. Since we want that to be 0, let's go ahead and reverse it, because I know what happens if you accidentally type a number when it's out of range. Clang happens. That's what happens. Reverse. 3 degrees. Oh, that is dang near spot on. Dang near spot on. So let's go ahead and fire up this thing, because hopefully it'll engage. Let's see. Oh, I do not have that on here yet. It's the one thing I didn't think to do. Oh, but of course the power's not even on, so it doesn't matter. Power. Okay. Let's drop this down by a fraction. So it's a maximum distance of 1. Let's do 0.9. Oh no, minimum distance of 0.9. Oh my goodness gracious me. That could have been bad. Maximum distance can stay at 1 for now. Reverse. Yeah. But I didn't want to toggle on and off. I wanted to do this. I wanted to switch lock. Here we go, people. Switch lock. Yes. Yes. It's amazing. That's weird. I'm able to zoom in on the plane. That usually isn't allowed. You know, when you connect to a large grid, it usually takes you outside the entire size of the grid. Oh, but the grid has gotten very big since the last time I did this, so maybe it's something to do with that. Regardless, let's have a look. Yes, we're connected to the main grid. I want to take a look at the H2O2 generator. That's on this thing, which I need to name this actually. I'm thinking it looks like a predator to me, so I'm thinking that it's going to have to be named something predator-ish. Some bird of prey. It's very on the nose, but what are you going to do? Maybe something grim like the Vanquisher, or not. You know, maybe that's a little over dramatic, maybe. Oh, why won't it? Ah. You remember that time I built a plane and I put something in the wrong place so it wasn't hooked up to any ports whatsoever? Yeah. That's 2 for 2, people. Someone keep a track of this, because if I do it for a third time, I think I might have to endure some sort of punishment. Okay, let's not worry about that right this second, because I know you guys are eager to see some of the other stuff, or at least I hope you are, because I know I'm eager to show it. Where is the nearest port that I can connect to? I think it's going to be one of these down here, and that's fine. So let us very quickly... Oop, nope, wrong one. 7, there we go. Let us very quickly pipe up an extraordinarily ugly... And by ugly, I mean it has a lot of character. That's what you say to people. I say, what do you think of my thus and so? And you're all like, oh, it's got lots of character. Yeah, it's really something. And it's code for... I'm trying to be polite here, but how did this even become a thing? I mean, it's an abomination, and it should be killed with fire. Oh. Oh, that's the sound of engines firing up. Look at him go. Oh, look at him go. Okay, so it's got its own ice. It's probably filled up that tank actually already even. Let's check it out. Control panel. Hydrogen tank. Yes, that's the one on this grid. Stockpile on. Huh. Should be getting hydrogen. You know, this is not the first time that I've had problems with hydrogen transfer, and I think it might require me saving and restarting to kind of refresh everything. Let's just check the lines here. This connects all the way to here, all the way down, all the way into there. Is this blocked up? Because sometimes, I don't know if this works with hydrogen, but if it's full, which it is not, I'm perplexed. Alright, let's restart real quick. Okay. Whoa, oh goodness, that was a bit of a slowdown. I think it's just because it was loading in. Okay, let's check the tanks again. Hydrogen tank. 100%. Yeah, there we go. For some reason, it just wasn't updating the hydrogen system. That's okay. Let's go back to hydrogen. No, H2 tank east. That thing is draining quickly. But that's okay. That's what it's there for. So that, I'm assuming, is going to be charging the batteries. I wonder if there's a way for us to find out. 35, 36, 37. We have 39 years, 41 years. It just keeps going up. I'm assuming it's counting how much time we have in fuel with the hydrogen engines running or something. You know, that's actually something I could do. Oop, I keep pressing this, the wrong button. I could actually, oh my gosh. I'm going to leave that running and charging. Excuse me, it's connected to the main grid and it's got the engine running, so that's all good. Once it drains out, it'll stop. I should add the engines as well though, because I don't need them running the entire time. Okay, here we are. This is Casa de Drahcian. Oh gosh, I'm all turned around. So over here we've got 6 tanks per side. So that is a grand total of 12, 18. I can do fast math, people. You'll need me in Tulsa. 4 hydrogen H2O2 generators, 8 batteries. These ones are temporary, which is why they're in the space they are. I'll be able to move them later if I want to. They are not fully charged in the slightest. Fully recharged in 1 day. That's 24-ish hours, give or take. And yeah, I basically started moving everything underground, and of course in the course of drilling everything out, which you saw me doing partially. I also found some silicon over here. Yeah, I gathered a lot of stone, which of course took up space, and so on and so on. So as per my habit, I decided to put down heavy plate, so that I'll use up a lot of my steel plate and have those in reserve if I ever need to strip it down and turn it into something else. And basically it's turning into kind of like a silo, which is what I wanted to do eventually. I actually thought it'd be kind of fun to have this sort of silo here, and then when I want to I can build down. Oh my gosh, we're falling! Build down further into here, since we've got this nice big hole in the ground here. Oh, there's some random ice that is just sitting at the bottom of the chasm here. Alright, I bet you anything we could shout in here and it'll echo, 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 echo. That would actually have been more awesome if I had just said echo once and then used post-production to say echo, 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 echo. Yeah, something like that. Alright. Don't drop the ball on that one, post-production me. Make sure you take care of that. Oh, I may as well tell you, I was going to keep it a secret, but look at this, look at this! You know what these are? These are doors. These are doors, and they're going to close. When they're built, it's going to be amazing. It's got a double door system, so... Oh, and that's right! Okay, so while we're on the subject of unknown signal, that there is a Mark 7 scuttler. You know why it's there? Because the mod is working, / finally properly installed. What I did was I added the modular encounter spawner, but I did not add any of the other mods that are required to actually make it work, which things like surface occupation, and what was it? Oh, air traffic. Air traffic was the one I think that's causing this to happen. Now, they've been around for a little while. I've not had any of them come near me so far, which I'm very glad about, and I'm happy to leave it that way while I'm working on this stuff. Eventually I might go pick a fight. I was kind of hoping that one of the other mods was an assertive installation mod. Anyway, I think you have to travel a little bit of a distance before any of the ground bases actually start spawning, but we are going to take the plane out in the very near future once it is fully charged to do a serious bit of scouting, and that will involve... Oh no, Siri, I'm not talking to you. That will involve obviously traveling outside our sphere of influence. I really like this plane. I'm not sure, I'm already kind of like, yeah, about how it handles, but if worst comes to the worst I can re-add the thrusters I took off. But for now I kind of wanted to leave it as it was designed to be, which is to be vertical takeoff and then, you know, kind of a glider flyer where minimal thrust power and just we could just sail for hours is what I'm hoping for. I feel like I'm forgetting something. There is the Orc switched off at the moment. There is the Rhino recharging. Oh, that's another thing I need to do. I need to make a recharging port for that to sit at. What am I forgetting? Oh, the drill. The drill. So, do you remember me mentioning that I wanted to make a drill that fits on a truck? Or at least I alluded to something like that? I am going to build this rig onto a truck. But when I say that, I don't mean that I'm going to recreate this drill design onto a truck. I'm going to take this drill in all its glory, using this thing to grab it and move it out, and then other devices to shift it around and stuff like that, with huge potential for clang. I can't wait, it's going to be amazing. We're going to take that entire rig and we're going to put it on a big truck. A big truck. It's going to be a large grid truck that's going to roll out over to where the gold is, because the gold is the next thing I want to get, and it's going to clamp itself down. It's going to move the drill into place, clamp that down, and then it's going to drill just like it did on this base here. That's the plan. And with all the automation practice I've been getting with this base here, I hope to have it set up to where it's going to be one button, and that's it. It just goes through the program. It'll probably require a few timers since I don't know how to script yet, but that's okay. One of the nice things about doing this sort of thing is if you don't know how to do one thing, try it a different way first, then try it the other way, and that way you know how to do both and figure out which is better. So that is it for the moment. I'm going to take a quick break. You won't even notice a thing, but as soon as I come back, that's what we're going to start on. I'm going to start building the truck section that's going to house this thing. I'm going to have to plan it a little bit because of how big this is and how large these drill parts are. Oh, and to make things easier, instead of having one drill head and another drill head, I'm actually going to put the drills back more or less where they were. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, and then another 3 this way, so it won't actually change the layout too much. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be amazing. So the drill head will be 1 unit. So a total of 9 drills, 7 across the bottom, and then these 2 ready to sort of stop in place and then drill outwards as it's spinning to collect some of the ore as we get it. Oh man, I'm so excited. It took a long time to get where I'm at right now. I think it took approximately 16 hours of game time, maybe 14. I'm not very good at estimating that sort of thing. I'm rambling too much. See you in just a moment. Okay, I am back after next to no time for you guys. It's been a little while for me. So one of the things I need to do is actually spend some time thinking about how big the chassis is going to need to be for this thing. What I would like to do is for this to turn, and so it's pointing towards me and away from me. And then for the attachment point, the main attachment point is going to lead to the truck to be this way, which means that when it comes out here, it's going to be facing this way, so the truck actually can start right here and be facing this way. Okay. Let's go ahead and leave it where it is though for now, because I guarantee as soon as I detach it, it's going to be a race against time before some power outage happens or something happens that's going to detach. Some problem's going to come up and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to frame this thing out. I'm actually going to start from over here, and I'm just going to build a truck straight off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure it's far enough away from that. Let's go a little bit further. 9, 10. So that it can be powered while I work, and if I have any changes or tests I want to do whilst I'm building this thing, I can do so. That's the plan. Okay, so one in the middle, 1, 2, 3, plus 1, 2, 3 equals 7. That will give us plenty of room, because then when we plonk the wheels in, it's going to be 3 big. If I can never find the wheels. Large grid 3. Like that. Let's see, we're on the right hand side, so we actually want this one. Left. Because that's another thing. This, where I'm facing now, where the drill's going to lay down this way, this is going to be the front. I'm actually going to have a double wheel. Ooh, actually, you know what? That doesn't look nearly big enough. Not nearly beefy enough for what we're doing. So, let's go ahead and change our minds mid-flight. This is going to be a monster, as it turns out. So 5 right, 5 left. Okay, and hopefully there's enough room for it to spawn. Yes, there is. Okay, that should be more than adequate. In fact, that might even be overkill, but it's a big set of drills, and it's going to need a big framework in order for it to fit on there, so So yeah, what I'm basically going to do is have a double wheel system at the front, which may not make the steering so fantastic, but steel plate, I'm already out of it. So rather than messing around trying to get that finished, I'm going to split this into 2 episodes. But first thing I'm going to do is we're going to fly this plane, because I haven't done it yet. And then next episode I'll actually try and get it finished, so that this episode will have been Sunday, next episode will come out Monday, so literally a day later you'll get the rest of that build, because I honestly thought I was going to get through it in one go. It just didn't work out that way. So potential bonus episode for next installment. But before we go, let's fly this thing. When I was moving this thing, I realized that it was tipping somewhat. Let's go ahead and lock, unlock, unlock again, and then move this thing. Oh no, the thrusters are all off. That's why. Oh gosh. So I put some thrusters forward and backwards to stop. Oh, come on now, there we go. To stop, oh gosh, the side slippage. These are maneuvering thrusters. I've got them set so that when we get to cruising, they won't be used. But for right now, they're just to keep me from moving around, because one of the things I was having an awful problem with was drift. I mean, really bad. I could hardly keep it stable. That being said, let's see what this puppy can do. So, 8 forward, turn off the, oh gosh, oh, landing gear up. Let's do a flyby of the base, shall we? Now, one of the problems is I just realized I don't have a way to control the well, I do like the way it flies now. That's or I should say I like the way it glides. Right now I'm using full thrust, and I don't want to be using full thrust. Or even though it says I've got 140 something days of power, a lot of the work is being done by the wings, which is great. It's exactly what I wanted. I've got the air brakes, which are currently closed, which will stop this thing dead if I'm any judge. Ooh, there's a rock down there. I wonder what's in that. I do not have an antenna on this thing, was the pity, nor do I have an ore detector. The point of this was supposed to be able to, if I spotted something like that rock back there, was to fly over to it, hit the old VTOL, apply some air brakes. Whoops, actually let's just do that. Let's use the air brakes. Come to more or less a standstill. Let's go ahead and turn the maneuvering thrusters back on, and in this case we're actually up quite high, but what we'd usually do is fly in. Oh, there's the spot where I'm going to be mining my gold and my silver. That's interesting. I'm not doing anything, and we're at a 21 meter per second glide effectively. We're not even moving forward. That's really strange. I wonder if that's because these are open. Try it. Well, I can't really try this when I'm this high up. Anyway, all kinds of distracted. Let's keep going until we can land, because that was one of the things I wanted to test, was its landing capability. Oh, this is kind of annoying. Is when you get close to the ground, it wants to bounce back up and to kind of get it. There we go. Down is a bit of a hassle, because those landing gear aren't super strong. I mean, if I come down real hard, it's just gonna wreck those things. Okay, I think we will stand here and grab ourselves a screenshot. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I'm sorry I didn't get through all of the mining rig building that I wanted to, but there'll be plenty more of that, and like I said, potentially a bonus episode. It's going to depend on how fast I can get everything rendered and edited, or vice versa. So look forward to that. Let me know what you think about the plane, about the refitting of the base, the little micro welder which I've yet to use. I'm going to use that to weld up the doors, amongst other things, on the base. And of course, on your thoughts on the drill truck thing that's going to be hopefully ready. Oh man, can't wait. I'm so looking forward to testing it out. I really hope it works out, because it should be fun. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed the episode, I'd really appreciate it. Comment and let me know if you've got any suggestions or just want to say hey. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get notified of new episodes as they come out. You all have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side.